Hello friends, today we are going to do an experiment based on density of liquids. You need water, a jar, some items, salt, oil and another jar and food coloring. First put water into a jar. Now let's put in some items. A screw or a nut which is very dense, it will immediately sink. A lemon which is also very dense, also sank. Now let's see what salt does to the water. Now mix. This would be good. Now let's again drop a nut or a screw which sank immediately. And now let's put a lemon. It's floating because the salt water is denser. The salt made the water more dense. Okay, now let's remove the items and pour this into the jar. Now you can remove the funnel and put some oil. You can tilt so that you can make sure it does not mix at all. Now let's drop in some items. First of all, the screw sank immediately. Then lemon, which is floating on the salt water. Then let's see what a cap does. It is floating on oil and also a sponge. Okay, a sponge should just float on oil. Yep, as usual. Now let's see how when we add water what will happen. Now you can put it in another jar. And you can use food coloring to know that salt water is different. Mix it. And let's see when after putting other things. And you can see the sponge sank by soaking all the water. Now you can see that the nail is heaviest in the salt and it sank even in salt water. The lemon is a little less denser, which is floating on top of the salt water and sank in water. The cap is very light and it is floating on top of water and sank in oil, and the sponge is on top of the oil. But when it soaks the oil, then it goes down because it becomes heavier.
Okay. So we can say that salt water is the heaviest.
Yes.
Then?
Water, then oil.